This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away from 26th to 31st of January 2017 in the United States. Before you proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Barbara Hale, she was born in April 1922 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 94 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Barbara Hale was a beloved American actress with a career spanning over 5 decades. She was a prominent figure in classic Hollywood films before achieving widespread fame for her work on Perry Mason, for which she won an Emmy Award. Stan Borson, he was born in May 1925 and he died in January 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. Stan Borson was a Norwegian-American musician and comedian. He was a television personality in the Seattle area for decades, and his humor and music, which often featured Scandinavian themes, made him a local legend. He was also known for his accordion playing, comedy, and children's television shows. Bob Holliday, he was born in November 1932 and he died in January 2017. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Bob Holliday was an American actor who became forever linked with the role of Superman. After his Broadway run, he continued to be a favorite among fans of the character, attending conventions and events. He was best known for playing Superman in the 1966 Broadway musical It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. He was also the first actor to portray Superman on Broadway. Mike Connors, he was born in August 1925 and he died in January 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was leukemia. Mike Connors was an American actor with a long career in film and television. His role as the no-nonsense detective Joe Mannix earned him a Golden Globe Award in 1970, the first of 6 straight nominations, as well as 4 consecutive Emmy nominations from 1970 to 1973. Robert Ellis Miller, he was born in July 1927 and he died in January 2017. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Robert Ellis Miller was an American film and television director. He directed a wide variety of works, from popular television episodes to feature films. He was known for his work with some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Some of his notable works include the film Sweet November in 1968 and The Angel of Pennsylvania Avenue in 1996. Guitar Gable, he was born in August 1937 and he died in January 2017. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Guitar Gable was an American blues musician. He was a session musician and a band leader who was a major influence on the sound of Louisiana blues and rock and roll. His songs were covered by many artists, and he was best known for recording the original version of This Should Go On Forever, and was a key figure in the development of the swamp blues subgenre. Hal Gear, he was born in September 1916 and he died in January 2017. His age was 100 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Hal Gear was an American producer, filmmaker, and animator, noteworthy for his association with the Looney Tunes franchise. He had a long and varied career in entertainment, from working on classic animated shorts to producing popular television series. Martha Beckett, she was born in August 1924 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 92 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Martha Beckett was a remarkable American artist and performer. She left a career in New York to pursue her dream of performing in a remote corner of the Mojave Desert, where she became a unique and legendary figure. Frank Pellegrino. He was born in May 1944 and he died in January 2017. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. Frank Pellegrino was an American actor and businessman. He was a familiar face in mobster movies and television shows. He was also a well-known figure in the New York City restaurant scene as the owner of Rouse. Richard Portman. He was born in April 1934 and he died in January 2017. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications after a fall. Richard Portman was an American sound engineer. He was a highly respected professional in the film industry and was known for his work on some of the most iconic films of all times. He was a key figure in the development of sound in cinema. He worked on more than 160 films between 1963 and 2004. He won an Academy Award and was nominated for 11 Oscars in his career for films like Godfather and the Star Wars. Gwen Gillan. She was born in January 1941 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications of dementia. Gwen Gillan was an American artist. She was a prolific sculptor who was known for her bronze and mixed media works. Her art is featured in public and private collections. Her best-known works include a bronze sculpture of actress Mary Tyler Moore tossing her tam o' shanter hat into the air as a homage to the final scene of opening credits of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Dan Spiegel. He was born in December 1920 and he died in January 2017. His age was 96 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Dan Spiegel was an American comic book artist. He was a respected artist in the comic book industry for decades, known for his clean, detailed style and his work on a wide variety of genres, from westerns to spies. He worked for Dell Comics, Gold Key Comics, and other publishers. He was known for his work on titles like Maverick and the Green Hornet. Dora Ashton. She was born in May 1928 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 88 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Dora Ashton was an American art critic and writer. She was a highly respected figure in the art world and was known for her insightful critiques and her numerous books on art history. Ashton was a professor of art history at the Cooper Union in New York City and a senior critic in painting and paint making at Yale. She received numerous awards, including Guggenheim Foundation fellowships in 1963 and 1969. Charles Ratcher. He was born in May 1950 and he died in January 2017. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Charles Ratcher was an American artist. He was a pioneer in the field of light art and was known for his large-scale public art installations. His work was a unique blend of art, technology, and performance. David Shepard. He was born in October 1940 and he died in January 2017. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. David Shepard was an American film historian. He was a tireless advocate for the preservation of silent films and was instrumental in saving countless films from being lost forever. He was a respected expert in his field. He founded the company Black Hawk Films, which was known for its distribution of classic silent films. He collected silent films from private collectors and film archives around the world. Leonard Linko. He was born in February 1926 and he died in January 2017. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Leonard Linko was an American dentist. He was a leading figure in the development of dental implants and was known as the father of modern dental implantology. He lectured and taught throughout the world. In 1969, he was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Medicine, making him the only dentist to be nominated for the prize. Linko held 36 patents in dental science. Elliot Sperling, he was born in January 1951 and he died in January 2017. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Elliot Sperling was an American historian and Tibetologist. He was a highly respected academic and was known for his expertise on the history of Tibet and its relations with China. He was a vocal advocate for the rights of the Tibetan people. He served as a professor at Indiana University and was known for his reach on Sino-Tibetan relations. Charles Lemaistre, he was born in February 1924 and he died in January 2017. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Charles Lemaistre was an American physician, medical educator, and academic administrator who served as Chancellor of the University of Texas System from 1971 to 1978 and as President of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center from 1978 to 1996. He was an advocate for cancer prevention, a prominent figure in the medical community, and was known for his work on smoking cessation. Stuart Timmons, he was born in January 1957 and he died in January 2017. His age was 60 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiac arrest. Stuart Timmons was an American author and historian. He was a respected figure in the LGBTQ community and was known for his work in documenting the history of gay and lesbian life in Los Angeles. He was the author of The Trouble with Harry Hay, founder of the modern gay movement, and the co-author of Gay LA, A History of Sexual Outlaws, Power Politics, and Lipstick Lesbians with Lillian Federman. Howard Frank Mosher, he was born in June 1942 and he died in January 2017. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Howard Frank Mosher was an American author. He was a celebrated writer who was known for his evocative portrayals of rural life in Vermont. His work was praised for its humor, humanity, and deep sense of place. The last novel published during his lifetime was God's Kingdom by St. Martin's Press, October 2015. He was a recipient of the Guggenheim Fellowship. Bharati Mukherjee, she was born in July 1940 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was rheumatoid arthritis. Bharati Mukherjee was an Indian-born American author and professor. Her writing often focused on the complex themes of identity, assimilation, and the immigrant experience in North America. She was a respected voice in contemporary literature. She won the National Book Critics Circle Award for her collection, The Middleman and Other Stories. Arthur H. Rosenfeld, he was born in June 1926 and he died in January 2017. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Arthur H. Rosenfeld was an American physicist and a leading advocate for energy efficiency. His work helped California become a world leader in energy conservation, and his contributions are credited with saving billions of dollars and reducing carbon emissions. He was known as the godfather of energy efficiency. Carmen Contreras Bozak, she was born in December 1919 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 97 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Carmen Contreras Bozak was an American military veteran. She was a trailblazer who broke barriers for Hispanic women in the United States Armed Forces during the Second World War. Her service was a source of inspiration. Doris Lockness, she was born in February 1910 and she died in January 2017. Her age was 106 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Doris Lockness was a pioneering American aviator. She left in 1943 to join the Women Air Force Service Pilots. A regular airshow performer, she was often flying Swarm Angel, her Voltis Tinson L5 with a 190 horsepower engine that served in New Guinea in Second World War. She flew her last plane at age 89. At her 100th birthday party, she co-piloted a Robinson 44 helicopter for her guests. John N. Mather, he was born in June 1942 and he died in January 2017. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. John N. Mather was an American mathematician. He was a highly influential figure in the field of mathematics and was a recipient of numerous awards and honors for his research. He was a professor at Princeton University. He was known for his work on dynamical systems and differential geometry. He was a member of the National Academy of Sciences beginning in 1988. Jack Thrasher, he was born in August 1936 and he died in January 2017. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Jack Thrasher was an American immunotoxicologist. His area of expertise was primarily the toxicity of formaldehyde as well as chlorpyrifos, and he has acted as an expert witness and consultant since 1984. He served in Department of Anatomy at the University of California, Los Angeles from 1966 to 1972. William Owens, he was born in March 1980 and he died in January 2017. His age was 36 at the time of his death and he died in a combat. William Owens was a decorated United States Navy SEAL, Senior Chief Petty Officer. He died in Yakla raid in Yemen, making him the first American to die in combat under Trump administration. President Trump paid tribute to Owens during his address to a joint session of Congress on February 28, 2017, saying Ryan's legacy is etched into eternity. Leonard H. Perutz, he was born in April 1933 and he died in January 2017. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Leonard H. Perutz was an American Air Force general. He had a long and distinguished career in the military and intelligence services, holding key leadership roles. He was a recipient of numerous awards and honors. After retirement from Air Force, he served as director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. Harold Rosen, he was born in March 1926 and he died in January 2017. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a stroke. Harold Rosen was an American electrical engineer. He was a visionary and a pioneer in the field of satellite communications. His work revolutionized global communications and led the creation of the modern satellite industry. He was a key figure in the development of the geosynchronous communications satellite. Anthony J. Perpek, he was born in February 1932 and he died in January 2017. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Anthony J. Perpek was an American dentist and politician. He served as a commissioner in the Minnesota Department of Energy and Economic Development and in the Minnesota Department of Public Service. He was a respected figure in Minnesota politics and was a member of a prominent political family. William Schweizer, he was born in April 1925 and he died in January 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. William Schweizer was a United States District Judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of California. He had a long and distinguished career in the legal profession, serving as a judge and as a law professor. He was a respected figure in the legal community. He also served as a director of the Federal Judicial Center from 1990 to 1995. Thomas Barlow, he was born in August 1940 and he died in January 2017. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Thomas Barlow was an American politician who served as a member of the United States House of Representatives from Kentucky's 1st Congressional District for one term. Trice Harvey, he was born in July 1936 and he died in January 2017. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a fall. Trice Harvey was an American politician. He was a long-serving member of the California State Assembly and was a respected leader in his community. He was a dedicated public servant. Bob Bowman. He was born in May 1930 and he died in January 2017. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Bob Bowman was an American professional baseball right fielder and pitch hitter who played all or part of 5 seasons in Major League Baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies from 1955 to 1959. Charles Shackelford. He was born in April 1966 and he died in January 2017. His age was 50 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Charles Shackelford was an American professional basketball player. He was a talented player who had a career in the NBA and in other professional leagues. He was a respected figure in the basketball community. He played for the New Jersey Nets, Philadelphia 76ers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don Coleman. He was born in May 1928 and he died in January 2017. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Dan Coleman was an American college football player. He played for Michigan State Spartans, where he was a unanimous All-American in 1951, the first African-American All-American football player at Michigan State. He was also the first Michigan State player to have his jersey number retired by the school. In 1968, he also became the first African-American to serve on the coaching staff at Michigan State. Bobby Watson. He was born in March 1930 and he died in January 2017. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Bobby Watson was a guard who played in the National Basketball Association. Watson was drafted by the Milwaukee Hawks in the 1952 NBA draft. He first played in the NBA with the Minneapolis Lakers in 1954 before being traded back to the Milwaukee Hawks for Lou Hitch. Sterling Newberry. He was born in August 1915 and he died in January 2017. His age was 101 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Sterling Newberry was an American inventor and microscopist. Newberry invented the shadow X-ray microscope and was one of the founders of the Microscopy Society of America. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.